Hey, welcome to this Windows channel, and this is another antivirus test. We are testing different antivirus software and, of course, giving you the results. So here goes. This is Norton Security Deluxe. It's kind of a new naming, new word of Norton security products. So I decided to try Norton Security Deluxe. And it's a nice little package that has all sorts of security features, including malware. Now, in my tests, here's the result of this antivirus test. First of all, doesn't have any junkware, and there's also little protections in here, including firewall. So you are protected in pretty much everything you need. That's for sure. There's identity theft and all sorts of performance tools that you can, if you want, add to, but they don't annoy you much with it, and that I really like. Install was easy. No weird check marks. No a million products to uncheck or make sure you don't get it before you install. That's also positive. The iCard test file, that test file where you create a virus file, was removed immediately when I tried to save that on my desktop. That's good protection. One side that I didn't like is that the zipped file with the virus, I actually had to unzip before it told me, oh yeah, there's a virus in here. So I didn't like that because it means that instead of just scanning immediately what I've downloaded, it waited for me to have some kind of action or interaction with it, which a lot of other antivirus said, no, 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 this is a virus. So that kind of baffled me a little bit that a Norton product works like that. Malware, yeah, it detected the malware in my two pieces of software that I downloaded. Immediately said, no, you should not click or run this. And one thing that it did is actually test it. So it slowed down my machine while it was actually checking it out for sure, making sure that, yeah, it's bad. And finally popping up a little window saying, yeah, that I removed that because that's bad. So that's different from other antiviruses and not as fast as, like AVG, Internet Security, that just said, oh, there's two malware in here and these are the malware, which was much faster and really direct. But after, of course, it said, no, this is no good, it didn't want, it wasn't anywhere. I couldn't click on it or do anything with it because it already had removed it. So at least it does protect you like that. Processor usage is low, not too bad, less than 3%, except when it scanned some files sometimes. It might have gone up to I'd say about 20-25% while it was checking it out. As for the memory usage, is about 20-25 megabytes when you don't use it, when it's just there idle and checking your computer. And soared up to 121 megabytes when it's scanning files, which is typical of most antivirus I've tested. In my test, I, of course, scanned my 2.3 gigabyte file, and that took 44 seconds to do so, which is faster than most, a little slower than the fastest. So it seemed to really check mostly the types of files that are dangerous. No sandbox mode, no nothing special when I wanted to go to a banking site, for example, contrary to, say, Bitdefender that has kind of a browser that it tells you, oh, you better use my browser to go to your banking site. Web extensions are there, of course, so when you do some searches in Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, well, it has the extensions. So when you know, try to do something, it will pop up this little Norton OK or I don't know, or whatever, which are available there. Now that's nice, but it is an add-on compared to a few other browsers that didn't have add-ons. They were actually kind of scanning everything there, and that would include Edge, which had also protection thanks to that. Here, because Edge does not have extensions right now, it's not protected technically. Easy to install, and the impact on startup and on overall system performance is extremely low. I had seen that last year that it was extremely low, and yes, it's true that they've really worked hard to make Norton as low profile as possible when you are using your computer. Of course, you have the icon in the taskbar, which has kind of a little green check mark saying, yeah, everything is okay, if you want to test and make sure that it's working. So, sorry, Norton Deluxe, not a bad product, and it did work for everything I throw to it, and it did detect, although slowly sometimes, although the fact that it had to unzip before it told me, oh yeah, that was a virus. Because of that, I'm giving it a lower score at 7.5 out of 10. But it did protect. So, we gotta be fair, it did protect. It's just that I don't like the fact that you had to unzip before it told me, or, it had to kind of take some time and say, well, I think this is bad and has malware, but then check it again to make sure. A lot of antivirus actually check it while it's downloading, which seems to be faster in the antivirus process. So last year I gave this a big score because I really enjoyed it. It's not that it's bad, okay? I'm gonna have to say that it's not that it's bad, but I have to say that it's not all that it could be. So I'm giving it a score of 7.5 out of 10, meaning that it's okay, but I'd like to have a few improvements of the points that I mentioned here, including a better scan of zip files and faster scan of downloading files that might have malware in them or undesirable software. So that was the Norton Security Deluxe product, and of course there's all sorts of products on the Norton page. I decided to take the deluxe one because it's not very much more expensive and it adds a few things. So I wanted to see if it had more interesting features that could be checked for. And of course there's a premium version of Norton Security, which is probably like a 360, equal to 360, offers backup and all sorts of little things on the cloud. So that's my little report. 7.5 out of 10. I think it needs improvements this year. If you enjoy my videos, want to subscribe to my channel, you'll be informed when new videos are online. Give us thumbs up if you like our videos. And if you have any comments, questions, and any antivirus or video that you'd like me to make, please let me know. And thank you so much for leaving comments and suggestions.